welcome to this week's episode of NDTV. My name is Corinne Brown, naturopathic doctor, labor doula, mother, and host of this episode where today we're talking all about sleep. Sleep. Potentially one of the most under-respected aspects of overall well-being. For new parents, it's considered a luxury. For busy people, it's considered a bother. For the most part, it's very poorly prioritized, and people regularly deny themselves of it for the sake of chores or TV shows or social engagements. But in actuality, the body needs sleep just like it needs food and water to function properly. Sleep is a built-in mechanism that allows the body to shut down, rest, and recuperate from the days before. So how much sleep do we need? The general consensus is 8 hours, but that's actually not accurate. The proper answer is it depends on your age. There is a lot of variability throughout our lifetime as to how much sleep we need. Infants and toddlers need more, and infants need more than toddlers, and teenagers actually require more sleep as well, because in those stages of life, the body is undergoing significant changes, and sleep is actually when those changes can optimally take place. This greater requirement for sleep in children is why naps are so crucial for little people. I highly recommend this book, Healthy Sleep Habits, Happy Child, to anyone I know who has a child or is pregnant or planning a family. I wish they had a book like this for adults! What I like about it is that it's based on scientific requirements for sleep for the developing brain. So at every different age or stage of life, there are different sleep requirements that child needs. And what this book does is it breaks it down into every separate age group and says, these are the number of hours that they should be sleeping at these times of days, and it's like clockwork. Like, it has proven itself to work for me countless times, and to all of my friends and patients who I've referred it to. I highly recommend this book. So how does sleep work? Sleep is not something that we are intended to kind of grab willy-nilly whenever it's convenient for us. Our body is set up with a system of hormone cycles that is intended to bring about sleep and wake in a consistent pattern, which is known as your circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythms are not unique to humans. Animals and plants alike are equipped with circadian rhythms, which tells us that sleep and this sleep-wake cycle is crucial for the survival of an organism. The most perfectly organized circadian rhythms will have you feeling sleepy and asleep around the same time each night, and will have you naturally waking without an alarm clock around the same time each morning. Sticking to circadian rhythms is obviously difficult for people who work shifts, people who travel for work and often experience jet lag, new parents, and bar stars. In those cases, having impeccable sleep hygiene and napping whenever possible is crucial. So if you're not sold on consistent quality sleep yet, let's talk about some consequences of poor sleep or irregular sleep. Irritability or poor mood, low libido or low energy in general, foggy thinking, difficulty focusing, uncontrollably sleepy at non-sleep times, which is dangerous obviously when driving or operating machinery or caring for children, weight gain or difficult weight loss. Sleep and weight are actually very highly connected. Poor memory and ability to learn or retain new information or memories. Increased risk of diabetes, heart conditions, and depression. And something called sleep debt, which is over time, if you are getting inadequate amounts of sleep, that sleep that you're missing can add up and kind of get banked over time into something called sleep debt, which the good news is can be repaid with a couple of those longer, more restorative sleeps. So if you know that maybe you aren't getting the best sleep, or if your kids aren't getting the best sleep, let's talk about sleep hygiene, which is basically just some practices that you can put into place to prepare your body and give yourself the best shot at a good night's sleep. Number 1, regulate your sleep-wake times. So we talked about those circadian rhythms, those hormones that are produced in a cycle that are making you sleepy and wakeful. Now what we want to do for proper sleep hygiene is to facilitate those hormones and make it as easy for them to cycle properly as possible. So waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, and going to bed at the same time every day, even on weekends, is very important for those cyclical hormones to do their job. Number 2, a dark room. So melatonin is produced in the dark. And when there is light, it actually decreases the amount of melatonin, and melatonin is your sleepy hormone. So if you are in a room where there is a street lamp or kind of the moonlight is shining right through, or you don't have dark curtains, you're going to want to draw those curtains, put blackout curtains, make it very dark. If your alarm clock is very bright, that can even affect your sleep. So cover up your alarm clock, and even maybe consider wearing an eye mask. What's wrong with that? That looks cool, right? I'll have a great sleep, I'll tell you that much. Number 3, silence. There are certain stages of your sleep where even if there's a jackhammer going outside your window, you won't hear it. But there are other stages of your sleep where you will be woken up or disturbed by sounds. So there's a couple things that you can do. You can get a white noise machine. Those are great for kind of just blending all of the surrounding noises in. For my son, I use a fan. A kind of a loud fan works well, but there are actually machines that you can get that make white noise. Earplugs are another great option. Another solution that we tried that maybe you might want to think about is moving our dogs out of the bedroom. Our one dog is a heavy snorer, and the other dog is kind of restless and just kind of walks clickety-clack all around the room all night. Very disruptive to our sleep. So we just kind of move those guys downstairs. They're happier down there, we're happier, everyone's good. Number 4, this is a big one and the one that people probably like the least, but no screens for at least 1 hour before bed. So that means no TV, no computer, no iPad, no phone. The reason being, the blue light that is emitted from the screen actually inhibits melatonin production, which is not what we want if we're going for a good quality solid night's sleep. So instead, after mealtime, say around 6 o'clock, kind of draw the curtains, turn the lights down a little bit lower, maybe light some candles, put some music on. I like to call it melatonin mood lighting. Maybe read a book, maybe sit and kind of chat with your partner, with your family. You can kind of tidy up and prepare for the next day, or even start your bedtime routine. Have a bedtime routine. This is really important actually if you are trying to establish quality sleep patterns. So having a routine that you do every night before bed, and of course this is common with children, but it also works very well for adults. Having something that you do in kind of the same consistent order every night before bed is incredibly helpful for getting into a good sleep right away. Things to consider: maybe having a bath, having a tea, reading a book or a magazine, washing your face, brushing your teeth, moisturizing or removing your makeup, and putting your pajamas on, getting into bed, having a chat with your partner. So all of these things kind of in the same order every night cue your body into saying, okay, here we go, it's bedtime. All right, this happened last night. I know what's coming up. Here we go, and you're out. Here's another one that people don't like to hear. The bed is for sleeping and sex only, which means no computers, no iPads, no TVs in the bedroom at all. This is actually really important. It's important for your body to understand that when you get into your bed, it is time to go to sleep. It's very confusing for your body if you kind of just hang out in your bed, or you read books in your bed, or you watch TV in your bed, or you're on your computer in your bed. So we need to establish the bed as a place that's only for sleep and for sex, and that you do all of your other activities elsewhere in the house. A couple of other things. Exercise is amazing for sleep quality. Preferably you get it done kind of in the first half of the day, but if not, at least 4 hours before bed to allow your body to kind of wind down from it. Also, avoid caffeine, alcohol, dark chocolate, and smoking before bed. Some herbal medicine that you can try out if you are looking for some sleep aids are things like sleepy teas that are very easy to get your hands on at any kind of grocery store, health food store. Some herbs that you can look for in order of increasing sedative characteristics are lemon balm, chamomile, and passion flower, and valerian root. Melatonin supplementation is a thing, and it's an okay option, although I recommend seeing an ND before you do that. I also recommend leaving that as a very last resort option. If you work on all the other sleep hygiene things and you're still kind of finding that you're laying there for an hour or more before falling asleep, then maybe consider some melatonin, but it's not something that you should do regularly, and it's not something that you should do kind of willy-nilly. It's something that should be very last option, because the hormonal system of the body is a very tightly run ship. Every hormone depends on each other. So even though melatonin is a hormone that's helping you to sleep, and there's a whole magnitude of sleep benefits, its hormones are not something that we really want to be fiddling with too much. So try to support your body's own production of melatonin through the sleep hygiene habits that we chatted about. And if they're still not working, I recommend seeing an ND and maybe chatting about some melatonin supplementation. So that's it. I hope this information made you a little sleepy, not in the bored out of your mind way, but in the excited for a quality night's sleep tonight kind of way. If you know someone who is sleepless for whatever reason and needs to brush up on their sleep hygiene, please don't be shy, spread the naturopathic love and pass this video along. If you share this with your friends and then they share it with their friends and then they share it with their friends, imagine how well rested we'll all be. If you like this video and this style of medical information, please come on over and join my community. It's completely free, and you can do so at www.brownrootswellness.com/sign up. Now make sure tonight you are working on a comfortable, quality, consistent night's sleep for yourself and your family. I truly think it's the most pleasurable thing that you can do for your health. Because remember, if mama ain't healthy, ain't nobody healthy. Thank you again so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on NDTV.